any food for him. That's all.
Ooh.
Green Day.
Big crowd, big crowd.
Dave walked in and green. Get to get words to me, maybe, and then I'll have more company
Oh, I-
on Friday.
Nick? No way.
I get one of them shirts. Did I buy that shirt?
No, we had to buy it ourselves. We went to the same store.
Did I open space one day?
Oh, wait. You guys don't.
Jake made that same joke to me when I was wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going right around the next 2 months.
Let's start a new one. That's what I thought
Southern
of.
part would be a Midas.
You get 6, I'll get 6. I got a couple. All right.
What do you need, Jay?
We think
I got it.
right.
Don't worry.
We think the next,
I wave an enthusiasm.
Wow,
I feel like I'm
downsized it.
Regarding,
walkers on the top.
He gets many.
Did you get the quote?
This is nobody there.
I'll get it out tomorrow.
Nobody, this is gonna be very quick, very cool.
So I called him up. I don't know what was the whole of that's why I was calling.
Come to get moving.
To see if you had one.
I know. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Get moving.
It's in there.
enjoying this up here today, so we can answer.
She said it's encumbered, ready for action. Ain't that right? Encumbered?
Okay. Good.
Well, Dave wasn't there yet.
By yourself tonight.
I'll be the attorney. Lonely town is that. Hi, Kathy, look in your car.
Call to order the special meeting of the Barnegat Township Committee of July 14, 2014. Provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law, please.
Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law, adequate public notice of this meeting has been given. By publication in the required newspapers of the date, time, and location of this meeting more than 48 hours in advance. By posting advance written notice on the official bulletin board of the municipal building. By filing advance written notice with the Township Clerk for the purpose of public inspection.
Roll call of officials present.
Committeewoman Taylor?
Here.
Committeeman Billy?
Here?
Committeeman Moreno? Deputy Mayor Lucella?
Here.
Mayor McCabe?
Here. Salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we're going to move to the administrator's comments regarding the 2014 municipal budget.
Thank you, Mayor. Some brief comments before we get to the agenda. Purpose of tonight's meeting is to keep the process moving forward with respect to the 2014 municipal budget. On the agenda tonight are 3 items that are relevant to the eventual adoption of the budget, which hopefully should occur on July 28th. The first item is ordinance 2014-19 for first reading. This ordinance authorizes the township to proceed and commence with the refunding or refinancing of 2005 serial bonds in the amount of $4.2 million. No? Can we just,
Maybe shut it off.
I think, can everybody still hear me?
Just says.
Is that on? Okay, is that better? Okay.
Maybe it was just that.
Oh, there it goes.
Ordinance 2014-19, which is first reading, is an ordinance required to commence with the process of refunding, or what's commonly called refinancing, an already issued series of bonds back from 2005 in the amount of $4.2 million. As a result of this refunding or refinancing, the township will realize savings in the amount of roughly $145,000 over the remaining useful life of the bonds, which expires in 2020. Resolution 2014-330, resolution submitting corrective action plan to last year's audit. Resolution 2014-331 is a resolution authorizing the township to issue estimated tax bills in order to keep cash flow sufficient and adequate for the financial obligations of not only the township, but also the school board and the county. Please keep in mind that the township collects not only the town's tax bills, but the tax bill for also the school and the county. By adopting that resolution for authorizing estimated tax bills, we will be able to meet our financial needs for the next 3 months. Regarding the budget, which we will have a public hearing on tonight, the introduced budget on June 2nd amounted to $22,949,273. When compared to the budget of 2013, that is an increase of roughly $354,000 or 1.6%. Snow costs for the winter of 2013-14, which was historic, amounted to roughly $300,000. So as you can see, the bulk of the budget increase for 2014 can be directly related to snow operations. I think the mayor at the last township committee meeting indicated that the township responded to 15 events that required snow and or plowing during this past winter. Everybody wants to know the bottom line with respect to a tax increase based on the introduced budget. Taxes for just the town, this is just for town operations, would increase by 1.57 cents. That is an average of $39 on an average assessed house of $250,000. Additionally, when you take a look at the tax rate history from the revaluation that occurred in 2011 to present day, which is four budget cycles, the town's tax rate increased by 3.6 cents over 4 years, which is roughly $22 per average assessed house per year. Think about what occurred during this time period. Hurricane Irene, Superstorm Sandy, the winter of 2013-14, the ending of the Great Recession. So a number of adverse events took place during that time frame, occurred during those 4 years. But yet at the same time, the township only increased their tax rate by 3.6 cents or 22 cents a year. The reason why the township was so successful was because of shared services, in addition to just being effective and efficient in the way that we conduct our operations. As the mayor said at the last township committee meeting, we have shared services from exit 90 to exit 25 on the parkway. Those shared services easily save the township $750,000 a year, which is well over 3 cents. Some major budgetary accounts I would like to draw your attention to: the reserve for uncollected taxes. As I stated earlier, the township collects taxes not only for ourselves, but for the school and the county. And we have to give the school and county 100% of their levy, but we know not 100% of the people pay their tax bills. As a result, in 2014, the township has to budget over $1.1 million in the reserve for uncollected taxes. That is more than the total salary and wages in public works. So this town has to budget more for those people who don't pay their taxes than for public works. That's something that the school or the county does not have to budget for. We do. State aid. We peaked the state aid in 2005 and been going downhill ever since, despite a growing community. In 2005, our state aid was roughly $1.5 million. This year, it will be $1,048,000. So we've lost $450,000 in state aid, again, despite a growing community. Pension cost is the textbook example of skyrocketing. When I got here in 2006, we paid $173,000 to the state in pension costs. This year, we'll pay $1,572,000, an 800% increase in pension costs since 2006. When you take the $1.5 million in pension costs and the $450,000 lost in state aid, that's almost $2 million the township had to make up during those years. And finally, debt management. We continue to receive praise with regards to our debt management. We continue to drive down the cost of our debt service in addition to our overall debt. The township uses roughly 14% of our total borrowing cost. In other words, if you had a credit card with a limit of $100, Barnegat is at $14. And finally, the township received great news the other day. Moody's reaffirmed our bond rating yet again at A1, quality rating. Despite massive tax appeal losses, despite the recession, regardless of Superstorm Sandy, Hurricane Irene, pension costs skyrocketing, state aid going down, the township was successful for the third time since the start of the recession in 2009 to maintain our bond rating. May I remind you that the state of New Jersey led the nation in municipal government downgrades when it comes to bonding. We were able to maintain our bond rating despite all the adverse economic and financial conditions impacting the township. That is a clear demonstration and illustration that this township has followed sound financial practices, as proven 3 times in a row by Moody's. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Breen. All right, let's open, motion to open public hearing on the 2014 introduced budget.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
we're open. Anybody have any comments, questions? Jake?
Jake Taylor, 106 North. On page, sheet 43, Dave, and sheet 10. You got accounts for Barnegat Open Space Recreation Farm and Historic Preservation Trust Fund. And anticipated revenue by taxation is $225,000. I'll forget about the 130. And on anticipated fund, you got over on page 10, you got 150,000. Why is there a discrepancy there?
The discrepancy, it's not so much a discrepancy as classification of certain accounts. Township is utilizing open space funding to pay off the Green Acres loan that we secured several years ago. In addition, the township will be utilizing some open space funding to offset the cost associated with maintenance and upkeep and improvement and upgrading of recreational and historical properties within Barnegat. We are currently discussing that with the state. Most likely that will be an amendment reflected in our amended budget. At the same time, that will not impact the tax rate, it will remain the same. And we will be using the proceeds consistent with the ordinance that was adopted by the voters of Barnegat back in 2001.
Yeah, I know how you're using the money.
Yeah.
My question is, you anticipate the revenue at 150,000.
Correct.
Then on the main sheet, when you anticipate the revenue, it's 200 and,
I guess your response is we're not using everything that we're receiving. We're only using
what I'm
150.
trying to get at, what do you expect to take in?
225.
225.
Yes.
And then over the other, say 150,000. Why is it different?
Because we're not using all the 225.
You're not using all the 225? That's good news.
Thank you.
But it is. Very
You should
much.
praise the committee.
Huh?
You should praise the committee.
If they, well, I can praise the committee, but as far as my records go, we collected over $2 million for open space. We didn't buy 1 penny open space.
That's incorrect, Jack. If you check your records again, I do believe Meadow Edge was purchased with some
Meadow Edge was posted
with open space funding.
with open space funding.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear.
800 And Meadow Edge is not open space. Meadow Edge was, and I was on the committee when we bought it, and it was $800,000, am I correct, something like that, of a grant from Green Acres or. And now, why are you? You said you're paying part of the open space to pay off a Green Acres loan.
Mm-hmm.
What's Green Acres loan?
I assume the Green Acre loan is associated with Meadow Edge and the dock.
Well, the Meadow Edge loan was paid off a long time ago.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, well, my records say it paid off. Maybe you took another loan, but the dock, you might be paying off the dock. But, all right, other words, you'll be using open space money to pay for the dock.
The township will be utilizing open space money consistent and in accordance with the ordinance.
Well, I expect that. That's your interpretation of the ordinance, not mine. Anyhow, on page 15A, on I think it was last year, or year before last, when we did away with the emergency management, and I think we had a guy working there, we got rid of him, or he was let go, or retired, or whatever. And there was, I remember you at the meeting said that the big saving was that there would be no salary or something going out of emergency management. Yet on page 15A, you got emergency management, police salary and wages, $240,000. That's over and above the salary and wages for the police department is $6,088,000. In other words, there's another $240,000 for the emergency management. We did away with that position.
Let's read that classification of accounts correctly. On page 15A, we have Homeland Security, Emergency Management, Salary and Wages. On my budget document, there's nothing there, zero, correct?
On,
Emergency Management, Salaries and Wages, zero.
you mean there's nobody getting paid for emergency management?
2014, 2013, zero. Do you see anything there?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Also on police salaries and wages, the state of New Jersey allows a certain amount of police wages to be allocated to Homeland Security. The township's been doing that for a number of years. You can see in 2013 we allocated $230. In 2014 we're allocating $240,000.
And this is, other words, we're still going free. The job that was done away with, the emergency management, is still zero. Nobody gets paid for.
The emergency management functions handled by a captain and lieutenant in the police
And
department.
they
Let me finish what I'm saying. Prior to that, we had an individual, not a sworn officer, who was making roughly between $25,000 and $30,000 a year. The captain and lieutenant received small stipends amounting to $5,000 or $6,000. That's incorporated into their salary, so the township is realizing not only $20,000 in savings, but in my opinion, enhanced job performance.
Well, I don't, they're getting their stipend, whatever they're getting, but I remember when we did away with that, it was a big thing that was cut out completely.
Correct.
You know, and then in the meantime, you've added the 10,000, whatever it is.
No, it's 5,000, Jake. Let's get the numbers straight.
5,000
The
each.
township is saving, the township is saving roughly $20,000.
Well, when
Thank
you
you.
did away, the reason I bring it up is because you did away with the position, and then it's creeping back into the budget. You have two guys at 5,000 each is
No.
$10,000,
I said two guys at roughly 5,000, both of them.
both of them.
Between 5,000 and 6,000. I don't have the exact number, but again, it's sizable
Right, well,
savings compared to what we were doing
I
before.
may caution the administrator that when we do away with them jobs and they start creeping back in, it adds to the budget.
The administrator is painfully aware of that, but yet at the same time, we've had a number of events requiring emergency management response. And again, the township has saved significant dollars, and we had enhanced response to those incidents.
And my next question,
Jake, I'm sorry, your time is up. It's actually been up for a while.
well, I have questions on the budget.
I understand, everybody's on a 5-minute clock, and we've let you go over.
I believe,
Jake will be able to ask any follow-up questions at the July 28th meeting. He will have his 5 minutes at that point in time, and Mr. Taylor will be able to use that time for any purpose he desires.
I probably will have a few questions.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Jake, take a seat. Anyone else? No? Okay. Motion to close public hearing?
So moved. Second.
All right, on to new business, ordinance 2014-19, first reading.
Refund bond ordinance providing for the refunding of all or a portion of the township's general obligation bonds, Series 2005. Heretofore issued to financial capital improvements appropriating an amount not exceeding $4,200,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $4,200,000 general obligation refunding bonds of the Township of Barnegat for financing the cost thereof.
Motion to introduce ordinance,
So moved. Second.
roll call.
Committeewoman Taylor?
yes.
Committeeman Billy? Deputy Mayor Lasella?
Yes.
Mayor McCain?
Yes. Formal action agenda, resolution 2014-330.
Resolution submitting a corrective action plan to the Barnegat Township Committee.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Committeewoman Taylor?
Yes.
Committeeman Billy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lasella?
Yes.
Mayor McCain?
Yes. Resolution 2014-331.
Resolution authorizing the tax collector to prepare and mail estimated tax bills in accordance with PL 1994.C.72.
Motion to adopt resolution.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Committeewoman Taylor?
Yes.
Committeeman Billy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lasella?
Yes.
Mayor McCain?
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
That record.